Now, one of the world's richest people, Indian billionaire Gautam Adani, has been indicted on multiple counts of fraud in the United States. The criminal charges are related to his alleged role in a scheme to bribe officials in India. Prosecutors say he and other senior executives paid more than $250 million to win contracts for his renewable energy company. His Adani Group has described the allegations as baseless. Well, the leader of India's opposition Congress party, Rahul Gandhi, called for Mr. Adani's immediate arrest and accused the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, of protecting him.
Prime Minister is protecting Mr. Adani, and the Prime Minister is involved in corruption with Mr. Adani. This has been clearly indicated.
Well, Shriram Subramanian is director of InGovern, that's a governance analysis firm in India. I asked him about the scope of this case.
Good evening. Definitely, these indictments are very serious, and it's the first time that the Adani Group is facing charges of bribery and corruption. So it's not new in that sense from a perspective of that it's a well-known secret, but definitely a U.S. court ruling on an Indian businessman, this is the first time ever it's happened of such a scale.
How does the U.S. come to be leading this prosecution of an Indian company?
The fact is that the Adani Group companies tried to raise funding through U.S. investors. They issued a prospectus. U.S.-denominated bonds and U.S.-denominated securities were being issued, and there is a Canadian investor also involved in the project in the company that the indictment order has revealed. So from that perspective, there is the jurisdiction of the U.S. District Court of New York, which has issued this indictment order.
And is there anything to read into the timing of this indictment?
It's tough to say what is because this order itself, the investigation has started in 2023 itself. Almost a year has taken place. Even now, there's a process to it. This is just the constitution of a grand jury, and then the actual jury deliberations are going to take place. The Adanis, of course, will appeal in the U.S. to other courts and will try to seek relief either in the form of appeals or go for a settlement without admitting their guilt whatsoever.
And we heard Indian opposition leader Rahul Gandhi making some serious allegations about Gautam Adani's connections to the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi. He accuses the government of favouring the Adani Group in business deals. What do you make of that?
Firstly, show me anywhere in the world where a leading businessman of the country is not connected to any government of the ruling government, for instance, or any government for that matter. So secondly, even the indictment order actually points out to contracts that were signed in states that were ruled by some of the opposition parties. So this is just, I would think, a political slugfest which is created by the leader of the opposition here. And so this is just news just to rake muck. But at the end of the day, the Adani Group is one of India's largest groups, which is into infrastructure sector, where there is a need to sign contracts with governments ruled by all dispensations, including the ruling party, including the opposition parties.
And given the prominence of the Adani Group, do you believe that Mr. Adani will actually be arrested?
Definitely, there is an arrest warrant out there, and there's a process. If today Mr. Adani steps into the US, possibly he will be arrested. There's a bail process out there. Immediately, there will be a bail. So the US, of course, has a well-oiled legal mechanisms to deal with all these. It's not the first time that any US court has brought about bribery charges under the FCPA, which has been in existence for almost 50 years. That's the Foreign Currency Practices Act. And secondly, it's not the first time the US would have resolved it through either a settlement process or a bail or whatever it is. So at the end of the day, there's a well-oiled process to this, even in the US.
Okay, thank you for guiding us through that. Shriram Subramanian from InGovern Research Services. Thank you so much.